Let's go back to the phones. Joe wants to chime in. Joe, how are you?
Great. Chris Phillips. I mean, the guy's the only half-decent defenseman we got right now. The rest of the thing is an AHL defense. We got a power play that forgot how to score goals. No one wants to be physical. Spezza tries to move the puck from one end to the other, and then guys are flat-footed. I mean, it's just... but to say Chris Phillips is slipped a notch, I don't agree. And
you don't agree?
No, I don't agree.
Now, why is that?
Who's he playing with, Glenn? Come on.
You think Chris Phillips is playing good hockey?
He's playing right now. He's the best defenseman they've got.
He's the best defenseman of a worse defensive core probably in the league. So what's that make him?
Yeah, I know. It's an AHL defense.
So why does that make him a good player?
Ice for everybody.
So why does that make him better?
You dump on the veteran, who's the only veteran that's shown any moxie right now.
Oh, so Volchenkov hasn't shown any moxie. That's a good call, Joe. You're making a lot of sense.
The lineup. He's injured.
Yeah, I know he's injured. When he's out there, he's the best defenseman we got.
He's injured. Phillips has got to cover up for every freaking minor league defenseman that's on the roster.
So you think that Chris Phillips is having his best year of his career, and this is the year that he's really doing well?
I'm saying right now, he's the only guy that's doing it back there, and he's covering up for every guy he's got to play with.
Wow. Do you live near him, Joe?
Brendan Bell played with three. This is his third organization.
Has he given you an autograph, Joe? Do you live near him by chance?
The argument, Joe, is not if Brendan Bell's playing well, because he's not, or Brian Lee's playing well.
They haven't been in the league for 10 years, neither.
But you're right. Those guys are not playing well. But to say Chris Phillips is playing his best hockey might be a little bit...
I never said he's playing his best hockey.
Okay, then what are you saying?
That's when they've got. He's the one who's halfway consistent.
Okay, well, that makes him the best of the worst then. That's fantastic, Joe. That's what your standards are. If that's what your standards are, all the more power to you. I'm glad you're not our general manager, Joe. Thank you. Appreciate the phone call. Do call back if you feel need to. Let's go back to the phones, and Scotty wants to chime in. Scotty, how are you today?
I'm all right. How you doing, Colton?
I'm doing great, thank you.
All right, listen, I've listened to the program a long time, and you said some things that I've just shaken my head at and not understood what you were trying to say, but today was the first day I had to call in.
Great.
I'm backing up the caller, Joe, who was talking about Phillips. Yep. All he said was Phillips was a consistent defender on the Senators. That's all he said. You started putting words in his mouth.
So you think he was a consistent defender?
No, listen. Do you think
he's a consistent defender? Yes or no?
I think he's a consistent defender.
Well, then you got your head up your clavin like he does, too.
How can you say that?
How can I say that? I say it with my mouth. How do you say it?
You have Volchenkov, and you know what you're going to get out of Volchenkov every night. Then where do you look? You look at maybe Smith, but Smith is old. He's
Why
slow.
would you compare your best?
Phillips,
you're telling me that your best guy is the guy you're comparing to an AHL defense core?
Guy. You know he's not their best guy.
So what? He doesn't mean he's good.
All I'm saying, Kolka, is he has played decent this year. And then you started putting words into Joe's mouth saying that he was their best, that Joe said he was their best defender. He was having
He did say that, Scotty. You might want to listen. He did say that.
You said he was having the best season
You're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Okay. But Scotty, I'm going to jump in. I hear what you're saying, and I hear what Glenn's saying. The bottom line, from my opinion, he has not played decently. He has underachieved for what they have expected of Chris Phillips so far this year. He has not played up to expectation. If you watched the game last night, he was caught out of position a lot of time, and I don't care about the excuses that were given to Wade Redden as well about he's trying to make up for this guy and make up for that guy. There are some defensemen right now that are not very good on this team. But if Chris Phillips is going to run around trying to make up for their problems too, he's only causing harm to his own game, and that's what's happening to him. If you want to say that's what's happening to him, great. He's not played very well this year.
But don't say he's playing great.
I agree with you, Lee, completely.
Okay.
Now, but what do you expect? You can't expect much out of him anymore.
No, I do. He's a $3.5 million assistant captain defenseman on this team. We do expect that much out of Chris Phillips. Okay?
Yeah.
That happens, and he's got a free ride in this town for a long time because he's played so well in the playoffs, and he has. He retches his game up to another level in the playoffs. But during the regular season, when this team now needs him the most, where is Chris Phillips? I'll tell you where he was last night. He was watching Pavel Demitra go right by him on a breakaway because he never turned around and saw him on his back shoulder. That's where Chris Phillips was last night.
But so that's good. That's good enough for you, I guess,
he
Scotty.
has not played up to expectation, and they need more to Chris Phillips. He's not the only guy, and is he better than Brian Lee and Alexander Picard and Brendan Bell, and the list goes on? Yes, he is. But that doesn't mean he is playing up to his capabilities for what this team expects Chris Phillips, a leader and supposedly their best defenseman, to play up to. He's got to be better.
Okay, I agree with you.
I'll slow down my talk next time, Scotty, so you'll figure that out, because I just said the same thing. Let's see what Bob has to say. Bob, welcome to the show.
You're not going to like it, Glenn.
Go ahead. I've got big shoulders. Don't worry about it.
It goes back to Joe's phone call.
Okay.
You put words in his mouth. You put thoughts into him that he wasn't articulating. What words did I put into his mouth? What's that?
Which words did I put into his mouth that he didn't say?
It doesn't matter, Glenn.
Yeah, it does matter. You're calling me out, so know what you're talking about, Bob.
What's that?
You're calling me out, so know what you're talking about.
Just that. You said that he said that Chris Phillips is having his best season ever. He never even came close to saying anything like that. Then after the phone call, Lee articulated something about the Sens defenseman, about Chris playing a little bit better, and you're like, exactly what I just said. And you didn't even come close to saying what Lee had said.
Oh, okay.
Go back, Glenn, and take the tape.
Okay, so what's the point about Phillips that you want to make, or something else?
Yeah.
Do you want to
make? I don't want to make any point about Chris Phillips.
Thanks, Bob.
You know what, Glenn? What you said about Chris Phillips is absolutely true.
Okay.
You know, he's a $3.5 million defenseman, and he needs to play better.
Right. But so when Joe called in and said, "What are you talking about, Glenn? Chris Phillips is playing good and playing well," I was way off. How was I off the marker?
You know what, Glenn? You weren't off the mark. It's the way you handled the phone call.
It's called enthusiasm. It's called a little bit of juice, baby.
Kind of like you are now.
Yeah, it's called actually having some emotion. Sorry about that, Bob. It's called a talk show. And with that, we're going to move on to somebody perhaps that has some emotion and has a passion for their sports, because that's what we bring here on Over the Edge. I'm sorry if that doesn't work for all of you guys that like to sit there and analyze and spell check, because I'm not always articulate and correct with every word that I say. I don't spell correctly neither. But I'll tell you what, I speak from the heart, and if you can't take that, then don't call in.